Hey guys, it is Zach here, and happy 4th of July. Oh my god, Ryan, I read your comment about that hoist, or what you guys are building, and it fell on your boot? Holy moly. Yeah, that would have taken off your toe. I'm actually surprised that it didn't make that steel toe cut back and really hold on. You're very lucky. I guess the, standard for steel toe work boots is like a it's like ANSI, or it's like ANSI I think is the organization, but and then it's 75 or something like that. It's like 7, because I was watching a Mythbusters video on it, and it's like 75 pounds from 4 feet or something like that dropped onto the toe is how they test them, and that's what industry standards are. But that's not really industry standards, because if something 75 pounds fell on my foot, I wouldn't worry about it. But if something 1,000 pounds fell on my foot, that's when I want that steel toe. Either way, I want the steel toe, but I would be more grateful if they tested a little bit higher. Anyways, so I've been looking at Craigslist for vehicles, and specifically trucks. I think it's time that I get a truck because, well, when my mom and dad divorced or whatever, my mom had her Mustang, and I kind of suggested maybe you should get a truck because, why do my teeth look so weird? That one is shifted back weird. Anyways, when my mom moved into her house, like my dad's always had his truck, and if you have a house, it's almost necessary that you have a truck, because especially if you're fixing it up like my mom is kind of doing slowly, getting doors and stuff like that, you're going to need a truck. You can't use a Mustang. Plus, with all the kids kind of moving out and doing their own thing, she needed 4-wheel drive. And still to this day, and every night, I have to have my phone on me, whether I'm going to Walmart or whether I am going just outside. And at night times I actually, when I go to sleep, I actually put my volume up all the way, because the reason being is my mom living in a house by herself, there's plenty of stuff that she can do independently, but there's some things that she might need help with, and it's just one of those worry-wart things that I worry about. Like, she's there at night by herself and something goes awry or something like that, for one, but then also what I worry about is, like, in the morning, if her vehicle doesn't start or something like that, she needs somebody to call, and I more than likely am going to be her first call. So with that being said, with the kids moving out and everything like that, I suggested to her that she sells her Mustang and buys a truck, and she did. She went and she bought herself a 4-wheel drive Ford Ranger, and she really likes it. Now, she loved her Mustang, and someday I do hope to maybe save enough money where I can buy her a Mustang that's very similar and just as beautiful in yellow as the one that she had. In fact, I should put the picture on the front link of this video so that you guys can see it. It was a beautiful, almost like a deep yellow, banana yellow, if that makes any sense. Most Mustangs that you see are kind of a lighter sun yellow. This one was a very deep, almost like deeper than this, but this is similar in color as this dark yellow on this bungee cord container. But beautiful. She always got compliments on it, and it was only a V6, but it was a very nice car. Anyway, so she got her Ford Ranger just for the fact that the Mustang wasn't very good in the winter. She's gonna need something to haul stuff around now that she has a yard and stuff. Anything from furniture, windows, doors, yard work, just stuff. And she needed a truck for it, and she considered getting an SUV, but I said, a truck would be better just in the fact that, well, you can actually haul stuff with it. I mean, for one, the hauling you can do with an SUV, but with a truck it's actually kind of made for that. SUVs are made for it, but not really. And then the fact that you can put a full-size door in the back, and you don't have to flip the seats down or put the hatch open or whatever the case it may be. You don't have to heat as much space or cool as much space in this vehicle, so it's going to get hotter and colder faster. and you're not really using that space in the back for anything other than hauling stuff. So you might as well have it open anyways, because there's no point in heating it. But I've been looking at trucks, and you know what I have found? Trucks are god-awful expensive. Whether they're big trucks or small trucks, they're really expensive compared to a car. I can get a 2004, or actually 2006, between 2002 and 2006, like Chevy Aveo or Crown Vic, or all kinds of cars that have probably right around 100,000 miles on them for anywhere. I've seen them as cheap as probably $3,000 to $5,000. And to get a truck with 250,000 miles on it, they're asking, $7-8 for these trucks, and it's confusing me, because why would I buy something that has a V8, so its lifespan is considerably shorter than a 4-cylinder or even a 6-cylinder? Because V8s, they burn themselves to death, is really what they do. I mean, after 200,000 miles, I would consider a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder, but a V8, I know that thing is probably going to be kicked to the curb. You're probably going to have to overhaul it more than you would a 4-cylinder, and at that, even if you have to overhaul a 4-cylinder, a V8, or a 6-cylinder, the V8 is going to be way more expensive, just for the fact that it's a bigger component. And anyways, and then I understand you're getting more vehicle for this, but at the same time, it has 250,000 miles on it, and a truck, every dang part on a truck is more expensive than a car. So, in actuality, I believe that a truck with 250,000 miles should be worth next to nothing, and a car with 250,000 miles on it should be worth more than the truck, because more than likely the car is going to have, well, I shouldn't say more than likely, but typically what I find is that cars have less rust because there's more plastic body panels on them, and you can actually drive them into the car wash. And then when you look at these trucks with 250,000 miles on it, yeah, they're rusty and they've been beat, and most of the time at some point there was a teenager that owned it and tried to soup it up, and they put like a 4-inch lift on it. Now they have these bigger tires, and I've seen my dad, he likes his big tires on his truck, and I've seen how much he pays for those big tires, and they're over, I think it was over $1,000 for 4 tires on that truck, not counting the spare, because the spare was just a normal one. But it's just like, I don't understand their theory behind this. You're getting more vehicle, but every component on there has 250,000 miles on it. Interior, exterior, all the working parts, ball joints and bearings and everything like that. Now, there is a lot of maintenance that can be done, but in my mind, I just don't understand. It's such a rip-off. I mean, you're getting a V8, which, if it's a Ford, to be honest, both Ford trucks that my dad has had, after a certain amount of miles, they always had got a tick in the motor and everything like that, and which is very common for Ford. And it's just like, I don't understand, They're normally older. Why would I pay more for an older vehicle that has more miles and it's going to cost me more money, when I could pay less and get a vehicle with less miles that's going to last me longer and it's going to cost me less money? I don't understand. It should be you pay more for a vehicle that is going to go more miles and have less costs than, it's flip-flopped. And I think that what it is truck owners over time have increased the value because it's a truck. You can do more with it, which is true, but anything over 200,000 miles is just a piece of junk, to be honest. In fact, my car has 156,000 miles on it, and the driver's seat is torn in many places, and I'm about ready to drive the thing off the cliff. I'm so pissed off with that stupid car. So, yeah. And it's like, I don't want to get a car because I've had a car, and it's great, although I'd like to haul stuff and help out my mom with her house and stuff like that, but at the same time, to buy a truck, it's like, why would I pay more for less? It's like, why would I go to You know, why would I go to Olive Garden to get a hot dog when I could just go to the hot dog stand and pay $1 for the same hot dog? Just this one is marketed higher because it's the mystique of a truck, you know. Pisses me off. Anyways, I thought I was gonna rant. I'm done ranting on this topic. I do want to get a truck, but it's just like. And here's another thing that pisses me off about trucks. Why do they even make trucks that are two-wheel drive? Honestly. I mean, I think that in Minnesota or in the northern belt of states, that even cars should always have all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. I don't know why they haven't made a four-wheel drive car yet, because that would just be like the awesomest thing. You'd get excellent fuel economy and a lightweight four-wheel drive system that would kick butt through any amount of snow, especially in the northern belt. I mean, and I understand that trucks down south typically don't need to have four-wheel drive, but honestly, if you're going to drive a truck should have four-wheel drive. Hands down. Because otherwise, here we go again. I could buy a car with two-wheel drive, or I could buy a truck with two-wheel drive. Why the heck am I paying any more? I'm not getting anything extra. I'm actually getting less of a body than like an SUV, but paying more for it. It's just frustrating. Anyways, now my rant is done. But yeah, so if anybody wants to start a business with me to make a four-wheel drive car that kicks butt in the snow, let me know, because I think that would be the sickest thing ever. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a happy 4th. Congratulations to the United States for making it this long in their birthday. I don't know, I think we're 200 and something years old or something, I don't know. I didn't pay attention that much to social studies, but yeah, it's great to live in America, and this is actually the coaster that I made for all my stuff. So yeah, I am very patriotic in our country because I'm glad of what we have. And in fact, my car is made in America. I always try to buy stuff made in America. I just bought a brand new pedal bike. It's a 1981 Sears and Roebuck. Even the rubber tires are made in America. And I always try to buy made in America stuff. And I actually read a study a Christmas or two ago on American-made goods. And actually, if the average American bought, if the average American during the Christmas season bought $40 worth of American goods, American-made goods, only $40, which isn't a lot, it would increase jobs in America by, I believe it was 200,000 people would have a job because of just buying that $40 worth of items. So, simple stuff like when I go grocery shopping, I hate self-checkouts. I always try to go to a normal checkout for the fact that you are giving the American person work to do. And that is important because as soon as everybody starts going to self-checkout, normally there's like 4 self-checkouts and one person running all 4. And as soon as you do that, as soon as everybody starts doing that, you're taking away 4 people's jobs and giving it to just one. And I think that it is important that we step up, and if you always go into the line, if there's a long line, guess what they're going to do? They're going to get more people there to take care of these lines because we don't like self-checkouts because they take away from American jobs. And I would rather pay 50 cents more on every good that I buy to know that I'm giving some American work. And you got to watch out because I bought a Stanley, which is a American company. I bought a Stanley handsaw. And guess what it says? It has a big old sticker, a big old thing on it saying "Made in America." And then you read the fine print underneath it, and it says "Made in America with imported goods." So basically, on the saw, you got the metal saw blade, the plastic handle, and the 2 bolts. And what they did is they imported the metal saw blade and the plastic handle and the 2 bolts, and they had one person at the factory push a button that push the button at 6 in the morning that makes it just a machine go and put the 2 bolts on, and it goes down the conveyor belt. And so now I don't like Stanley because that is not made in America. Made in America means that it was forged in America. The plastic was made in America. Everything was made in America. And why would you put a stupid false advertisement like that on your goods if you can't back it up. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I don't get my gas at BP either. They piss me off. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video. I'm going to the cabin though, so it'll be in a while. So.